Hey there, fellow entrepreneurs. I'm Sue, and you've just stepped into Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. Every week, I'll introduce you to a friend of mine, a remarkable entrepreneur who's not just changing the world, but also harnessing a secret weapon, time outdoors. Together, we'll dive into their journey, unpack invaluable business advice, and discover why embracing the wild is not just good for the soul, but also a goldmine for inspiration and innovation. Ready to uncover the secret that's boosting bottom lines and fueling joy? Hit subscribe and join us in the wild. Hey, welcome back to Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. This is going to be really fun. I've got Sara Lindstrom, and this is so cool. What happens when a camera becomes more than a lens and starts to feel more like a mirror? This is some of what we're going to be talking about. Sara helps soulful entrepreneurs see themselves fully, not just as polished brands, but as the wild, alive, creative beings that they really are. Through honest, story-rich photography and videography, she captures retreat leaders, coaches, and visionaries in their natural element. Sometimes that means the wind-swept coasts of far-off lands, and sometimes it's just kind of a quiet moment that says everything. As a nomadic artist, mentor, and retreat guide, Sara invites others to rediscover wonder, beauty, and courage through the lens, especially in wild places like Arctic Sweden, where she's calling from. And this is where she leads immersive photo adventures for women who are really ready to connect with their power. This is going to be a fun discussion. Sara, welcome to Entrepreneurs Gone Wild. I'm really glad that you're here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. That was quite the intro.
Well, I'm like a little chilly just reading it, thinking about this. That sounds so cool. And that's pretty welcome because it's August here. And, well, I mean, it's August everywhere, but it's a little warm. So let's dive right in. I would love to hear a little bit more about like the people that you're serving and how you're like, what is the problem that you're helping them solve?
Yeah, I feel like you summarized it really well there. Many of the things that I do, because the truth is I do a lot of things and photography is one of my main tools. But I guess you can summarize it by saying like I guide visionary women into the wild and help them slow down, show up, and be seen. And I do this through retreats here in my Arctic backyard, through branding photography, and through private coaching.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love that. Like but this is not what I would normally think to go do. Like, okay, I want branding, so I'm going to go to the Arctic. Like, how are they like, what state is it that they're in when they finally first show up and they've found you? What are they saying? Like,
yeah, so the women that find me, so I mainly work with women. I mean, their brands are all about the wild and nature. Like they are all about that. So they want to be in those beautiful wild environments, and like that's what really brings out who they are. So that's why they're drawn here. And I don't only do it here. It's like in other wild places in the world, like wherever they are. Like I am mobile, but since I live here most of the year, that's where the shoots happen. So yeah,
that's incredible. So what are some other places that you've shot? And like that's so fascinating. I love it. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I want to first say that is really cool because I would imagine like if there's a woman and whatever her business is, but if it's got like a nature connection, having a little photo shoot in a hotel lobby or in a studio or something like that, that's not going to capture who they are really. I love that you're able to do this outside, and that's incredible. Where are some places that you've shot?
So my second home is like Western Canada, British Columbia, and the Rocky Mountains. So I spend a good chunk of each year there as well. So that's one of the places I shoot. But I've also been shooting in Chile last year and in Italy, in Tuscany, and really just all the wild places I can come across. And I shoot retreats too, so naturally I go to many different places and do branding photography there as well. Yeah.
That is amazing. What a fantastic gig. I mean, this is like you get to go be out in nature. You're able to see it because I think if you have a camera, you're looking more than, at least in my experience, when my camera is out, I see more than what I'm looking at without it. Do you find that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's another thing I'm very passionate about. And some of my other retreats are about that, like to help people just see the world through a different lens and like really be mindful about what they see and just like because there's beauty everywhere. We just need to
Yeah.
slow down enough to see it and like yeah,
Yeah.
the
Because it's
simple
so
discovery.
easy to just walk right by it, like right here. There's woods right here, 30 acres of woods and a creek and a pasture and all this. And it's like, I could easily just go for a walk and that's fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm out there and I know, hey, I want to get some good photos, then I'm looking, I'm scanning, I'm noticing, I'm slowing way down. Is that the same experience for you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm really obsessed about macro photography, and that really slows me down extra much because it's like it's this a whole different world when you
Oh,
really go onto that level. So, and same thing with night photography, man, like that's mindfulness for me, like because you spend so much time like setting up the camera and like looking at the sky and capturing the aurora, and it's like so much time with a long exposure to like just look at the
oh.
sky and like be present and yeah,
You have to
it's
really slow down with the night photography. That's incredible. I hadn't even thought about that. The mechanics of different types of photography,
yeah.
that's so cool. Man. So retreat leaders would say, "Hey, we also want to have photography done." I would imagine like the attendees, like, do you do it for the attendees as well? Like, hey, I did, here's some shots of you, and then here's from just action shots from the retreat, or what does that look like?
Yeah, that's normally how it goes. It could either be that I just capture the retreat, or yeah, I also teach on the retreats, teach people the photography tools that I teach during my own retreats, but also to capture the women on these retreats.
That's so cool.
In that when they have the beautiful sparkles in their eyes, like that magic that happens in retreats. So that's
Yeah.
yeah, I love that.
That's amazing. And how long have you been doing this?
Photography I've been doing for 10 years. The
Oh, wow.
retreats for like 5.
Okay. So you've seen, like you've known, is there a moment that you kind of look for in every retreat where you're like, this is going to be where it's gold and I'm going to get these great shots? Is there something that happens that like you're looking forward to that happening during a retreat and it's going to yield some great photos?
I feel like, I mean, every retreat is so different and there's magic sprinkled everywhere. So not really. It's like I'm always there with my camera and like ready to capture those candid moments.
Yeah. Oh, that's so neat. And now, digital camera, like you can just shoot away. It's not like we're back with film back in those days. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Is this worth it? Right? Oh, that's incredible. How did you get into this?
Photography or retreats or like in general?
Both. Yeah. First
Oh,
photography and then retreats.
wow. Yeah. A long journey of thinking I couldn't do photography for a living, but I traveled a lot when I was younger. And long story short, I went on this long trip, solo trip through Latin America for a year when I thought I was in that I was in that in between like finishing university and settling for the career and like all the shoulds of what
Mm.
you should do in your mid-20s. But I went on that trip, I brought my camera and I basically had no money, but I just made it work. And I remember this one moment in Costa Rica on a beach one night, I just had this epiphany of like, I'm so extremely happy doing what I'm doing right now, like taking pictures and like traveling the world, meeting people and just being in nature. And like, I'm gonna find a way to make this happen, to make this my path and like my profession. I have no idea how, but it's gonna work out. And it did.
Wow.
Like 1 year later, a travel company contacted me and started sending me around the world to capture destinations. And yeah, that's how it started.
Oh my gosh. That didn't take that long. I mean, it probably felt long at that year while you're, working it and trying to figure out how to make that work, but that's
It didn't
incredible.
matter. I was just so happy. I didn't matter. Like I was doing what I wanted to do already.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then what made you decide to get into, capturing all this magic at retreats?
So the retreat world kind of, well, I got drawn into that like 5 years ago because I started to feel like what I was doing, capturing destinations and shooting, places for other travel companies, it kind of lacked soul for me because it was
Mhm.
many places were already exploited and like lots of tourists. And I was kind of questioning myself, like, what am I contributing with my photographs and my talents? And that's how I got drawn into like teaching. And it was really like one thing led to the other.
Mm.
And the pandemic happened. It was the perfect timing for myself to be trapped in Sweden because I didn't want to live up here back then. I wasn't interested in Sweden at all. Like I just wanted to travel and live in other places of the world. But coming back home, I just fell in love with the place and the people
Wow.
and started to make connections in sort of that world and like people doing nature tourism and yeah, really one thing led to the other and I just combined all these pieces and suddenly I had my first retreat.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. I love that. And that whole journey of going from just photographing places. And I could see you must have been able to see, wait a second, this is getting harder and harder to get a shot that's not jam packed with tourists and, like seeing like these places are kind of getting overrun. And I love that you had that question of, wait a second, is this the contribution I want to make? What else could I do? How is this different now? Like, how does it feel when you're, shooting a retreat and you're seeing this and it's not, the hustle and bustle of a busy city or, a tourist destination, but it's this journey that these people are on. What is that like for you?
It's just so much more of a sense of purpose and meaning, like to do this. It's like I really feel like I'm being of service and helping other people. I'm like just simply bringing them here to the Arctic for my retreats. It's like it shifts something in them. It really does something. It has like a therapeutical effect just to be in nature up here. And also through my coaching, like it's gives me like profound sense of gratitude of like being able to help other people like go after the lives of the wildest dreams basically, and to be a part of that journey and like really encourage them to do whatever their heart tells them to do.
That's neat. Is it ever weird or hard to, like, you're running the retreat, but then you're also shooting the retreat? Or do you have team or like, how do you do that?
When I host my own retreats, I don't shoot, like I'm being the
Oh,
host.
okay.
I mean, there might be some shots here and there, but it's really not my main focus because those are two separate things.
Okay.
Then when I attend other retreats, it's like, sometimes I shoot just for a couple of days or I shoot the whole retreat, but then I'm also not really available to be, hosting.
Right. Yeah. Those are two like major roles. So that
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
hard. Man.
It's like you
Are-
can't shut up that part of your brain to like search out beauty all the time. It's like, yeah, it's a lot.
I would think. Yeah, that's wild. So tell me like I'm sure every retreat is different, the ones that you're running in Sweden, but what is it like? Like people show up, how long do they run? How many people do you typically have? And what do people expect when they're there?
Oh yeah, there are different. Typically it would be like around 8 people.
Hmm.
And I can speak about the one I got happening now this fall. So it's gonna be also around 8 people, and we're gonna be, separating it. So like half of it's gonna be in a forest lodge, and another one is gonna be in a mountain lodge. And it entails like a lot of soft adventures. So we're gonna go hiking and kayaking, and then I'm co-hosting with another woman from Australia who also has her retreat company, and she's really into breath work and like guided meditation. It's gonna be kind of a envisioning your dream life,
Mm.
and then of course there's gonna be the photography element, which I'm gonna be in charge of. So I'm gonna again just like help these women to use the camera as a mindfulness tool. And like September is when the Aurora comes back, the night sky comes back. So it's going to be a lot of, just playing under the night sky and saunas, cold plunges, being in nature really, and just the sisterhood campfires, like typical Arctic way of life.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that sounds so amazing.
It's
And
really good.
are the women from, I mean, I guess because you've got your co-host this time from Australia, so they could be from, I would imagine women coming from all over the world. Is that
Yes,
right?
they are.
Wow. Oh my gosh. How do you handle like the food? Like, do you guys bring in a caterer or are you cooking or how do you handle the logistics on all this?
Yeah, no, we outsource all that. So we stay in lodges that could provide the food and like all that part of the hosting. So we're just like showing up as the retreat hosts and holding the space and like the workshops and stuff like that. So we can really be there for the participants.
So neat. I love that. That's amazing. And how long do the retreats last typically? Is it like just a weekend or a whole week or
I've
something in
done
between?
both. Like I've done a lot of weekend retreats, like 3 days, but this one in particular is going to be 1 week.
Wow. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh, that sounds incredible. And I bet you probably have people who keep coming back and back and back. Is that right?
Yeah, I do. This one woman who just showed up, well, signed up now for this retreat. This is going to be her third retreat with
Wow.
me. So yeah.
That's so cool. I love this. I'm like, I'm inspired. That's incredible. Wow. And where do you want this to go longer term? Like it's just ramping up. This could be an incredible business that you just do exactly what you're doing forever. Do you have designs on it changing at some point, growing?
I want to do it in more places around the world. I mean, it's already happening. I'm looking at doing a retreat in British Columbia, and I was visiting a bunch of venues in Patagonia when I was there in last year. So I'm definitely keeping an eye out for beautiful venues to run another retreat. Um, so yeah, it's definitely happening, and there's so many more places that I haven't seen in the world that I would love to bring people and to bring people back to where I've been and like really fallen in love with.
Oh, I would imagine. What's on the bucket list still for places that you'd like to see?
Well, actually, when I think about it, like I'm blessed because I've done a lot of travels in my life. I've been to like the major places I want to see, but ooh, I think Mongolia is still on my list.
Wow.
Yeah, but I've been to every continent and yeah, I'd say
That's
Mongolia.
incredible. That is so incredible. Oh my gosh. I love that. That's that's just wild. And it could go anywhere. Have you thought about like writing a book based on
I'm
all your
working on
travels?
it.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, it's a process, but yeah, I'm working on it.
That's so good because this could be just fascinating. You could make, with the photography and then your experiences, putting that into words, that could be incredibly inspiring. What do you find, like toward the end of a retreat that you're leading? What do you find is the difference for the women who've attended this? Like what do they learn? What do they see in themselves? What's that shift that typically happens that you love?
Oh, it's always like you see that the shoulders drop significantly, and it's like that the sparkles in their eyes. That's kind
Ah,
of it's just a different kind of energy when they go home, and there's so much gratitude and like
mm.
tears of joy even sometimes, and like it's yeah, people just feel different and so much more relaxed and rejuvenated and
Wow.
inspired is also what I hear a lot. Really
Oh,
inspired.
wow.
Mhm.
And yet, so some of these too are like in the wilderness. I mean, it kind of is, that could be stressful on them coming in. Is there an adjustment period? Like, do they end up emerging going, I did this? This is not so, like, are they stronger, I guess, when they finish?
After, you mean like coming
After,
from my,
yeah, after being in a retreat, like out in the wilderness, that's not something that everybody does all the time. So for some of your guests, it might be the first time they've really been, you know, out there in the wilderness. What's that like for them? Are they, is it just really easy and they had no adjustment process at all during that time, or do they go through some growth?
yeah, they certainly go through some growth, but I feel like the ones that I've had so far, they haven't had like a struggle with it really.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe like the first couple of days of just the silence, because a lot of people aren't used to the silence. And it's for me, it's so normal, and I couldn't live without it because it gives me clarity and inspiration, and like I need
Yeah.
that space. But yeah, I think it's weird for some people to suddenly be in like this
Alone
space.
with their thoughts in the
Yeah, exactly. Alone
trees.
with their thoughts. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I could imagine because, daily life normally is full of notifications and, machinery and all kinds of sounds that we hear all the time. It's got to be, for a lot of people, I think that first time of having silence around them has got to be really like, what happened?
Yeah, it's like silence is going extinct in the world, so it's getting more and more unusual to have that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Do you ever have wildlife encounters when you're
Oh
out there?
yeah. Oh
What
yeah.
what kind?
Got lots of moose and reindeer. Um, I mean, there are bears and lynx, but you barely ever see them. Um, but then what else? I guess those are like the main ones you would encounter.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Reindeer, man, I'd love to see that.
And they're beautiful animals, so so beautiful.
Oh, that's so cool, man. All right, so Sarah, you're outside a lot. So this is going to be really interesting. I always want to know from guests, like, what's the thing that you're outside doing when you get really great ideas, or maybe it's just something that feeds your soul and you're outside. What would that be for you?
So I live right in nature. I'm in, got forests and lakes all around me. I'm at the end of a road far up in the north of Sweden, so I have access to so much beautiful nature. But I think for me, if I were to pick one thing, it would just be walking in the forest without any devices, without any podcasts or, just silence. Another thing is to go kayaking. I do that a lot as well. And in
Wow.
winter, just going on my skis through the
Okay.
woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That just sounds amazing. Like this sounds like an incredible life. But I know, it took COVID to put you there. What had been, it's so funny. I always know like when we're growing up, we're like, I can't wait to get out of here, wherever here is, right? I'm gonna go explore the world or go to the big city or whatever. What was what was that like, that readjustment to coming home and now here's this place that you thought, I'm gonna go more exciting places, but now falling in love with the place that you grew up, and what was that experience like?
Yeah, it was kind of strange because I really thought I was going to go crazy. I had just finished a job in Spain, like a photography assignment, and that's when COVID hit. And it was really kind of tricky to get back home. But in Spain, it was very, very strict immediately.
Oh,
So I felt very trapped. And yeah, anyway, I managed to get back home and coming here. Sweden, first of all, being a lot more liberal with the restrictions, but also being up in the far north where there are no people, basically, we had so much freedom. And suddenly it's like the grass is not greener anywhere else right now. Like Sweden is literally one of the best places to be during this time.
yeah.
And that just made me calm down and like relax into like, wow, I have this whole huge piece of the world that I haven't explored because I never took the time.
Yeah.
So it kind of turned into excitement instead. And yeah, that initial thought that I was going to go crazy, it just didn't happen at all. Like I was just like, wow, I have so much to explore now.
That's so great. I love that. I mean, what would you tell your younger self who was chomping at the bit to like, I got to get out of here. I'm going to go see the world. And now having fallen in love with your homeland, especially, up in the far north, what would you tell her?
I wouldn't tell her to do anything differently because I love the life that I've lived and all the places that I've seen. And like, I needed that to become the person I am today and to be able to fully appreciate this place as well. So she did the right thing, and it's just about going with the flow and yeah, adjust as life happens. And it's been a
So
beautiful
cool.
unfolding.
That's so great. I love that. It just seems like you're very open to wonder,
I
like
Yeah.
that's neat. That's a great quality to have. I think we lose it. And I don't know why,
Yeah.
but that's a beautiful thing to notice in yourself and to experience and to have. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's something I love inspiring others to also
Mm,
reignite, like remember that the world is beautiful. So there's so much wonder.
it is. That's so great. Any tips you'd like to pass along? Like either one from photography, like for how it helps you kind of develop your wonder, and then also just from time spent outside. Anything that you could share with the audience?
Just do it more often. It's like gotta slow down to speed up, kind of.
Mm, that's so great. Man, yeah, our nervous systems are fried. Slowing
Yeah.
down is a good first step.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Sarah, where can people find out more about your retreats and your photography? And because we may have some host runners here, retreat runners and hosts who might want
Yeah.
photography, and then also,
Absolutely.
of course, people who want to get on the road and go see wonderful places.
Yeah, so you can find me. My website is saralindstrom.com. No, sorry, saralindstromphotography.com. And then I'm the same on Instagram and all the other social media platforms, Sarah Lindstrom Photography.
That's fantastic. Absolutely beautiful work. And thank you so much for being my guest. It's been a pleasure. I'm I never thought I needed to go to Sweden, but now I'm thinking maybe I do.
You'd be so welcome. Thank you.
That's wonderful.